Since we're on the topic, Thiago, you mentioned him. He's Spanish. He plays for the national team. He was at Barcelona. Of course, that's where he first really made his name. So I presume you would have watched him more than Gabby and myself. Do you think the rumours are true that he's going to be joining Liverpool? And would he improve the side? And would he actually be starting for the Reds?
Well, if they get him, definitely is gone there, because Klopp spoke to him and said that he's going to be a starting player often. Obviously, like I say, then he has to win on the pitch, but the quality is there. What obviously is not my thing to say, but he's 29 already. Obviously, in the Premier League, it's not the same. He's never playing there in the Premier League. I believe he will be very, very good player for us. But how much you want to spend in these players and for how many years he's going to perform in your team? That's what you have to look at as well. So I'm not sure if he will be the best fit, but that he's a unbelievable player, that's no doubt about. And that he will make in the starting lineup, for me, I will put him in the starting lineup, yeah.
Yeah, and let's not forget, though, Grealish is a few years younger than Thiago. And I'm just flashing back to when Gabby was here in the studio, and we spent quite a fair amount of time, even before Gabby came to Malaysia to sit in with us, discussing Grealish and comparing him to Maddison. And it seemed to be you either preferred Maddison or you preferred Grealish. But during the course of an entire season, do you think Grealish has proven himself to be more consistent than Maddison and therefore a more viable target for some of the top 6 clubs, Gabby?
100%. We had this debate, didn't we? I remember Danny Mills, he was saying that, like, no, Jack Grealish isn't ready for the Euros and Maddison's better. But you can't even compare for me. I mean, Maddison is great. You know, he can pick out a pass. He's good on set pieces. But what Jack Grealish offers you is the same, and he offers you more. He can run the length of the pitch with the ball. He can drive with the ball. You know, the way he goes around the midfielders, drops the shoulder and attacks. And if you're looking at stats-wise, he scored the most goals out of most of the English number 10s that are playing in the Premier League. So for me, there's no comparison really between Grealish, Maddison, Mount. I'll put him at the top.
What about yourself, Jose? Are you in agreement? Is Grealish the pick of the pack for you?
Grealish is true that this year is make the numbers. That's the reality. But I love Maddison as well. Mount is a great player as well, but I believe Grealish and Maddison, they are a bit ahead of him now. Still, obviously, he's really young. He's younger, so we will see more of him. But I love Maddison, obviously, as well as Aston Villa. The goals come from him, really, but Aston Villa doesn't score as many as Leicester, for example. Leicester, obviously, fighting for the top 4, so it's other scorers as well on the team.
But imagine as well, Jose, if Grealish was playing in a Leicester team where they can't just rely on doubling up on him. You know, if Grealish was playing in a better team like Mount and Maddison, imagine how much more he would do, how better he will play with better players. That's what I see as
true,
well.
But
Grealish
at the same time,
numbers.
Yeah, I agree with you, but at the same time, you will not play all the balls to him as well, because you have other great players around. You know what I mean? Aston Villa, you can see they just try to found him all the time. They just try to give him the ball, and then obviously something happened after. In Leicester, you have many players to give the ball to. There's so many great players. So obviously, we will have to see. But that both are great players. They are. And that both they are welcome to Liverpool. Both of them are welcome to Liverpool.